Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about targeting on the lane. Maybe some do's, maybe some don'ts, maybe simplify some or clarify some myths, and what we do as professionals when it comes to targeting and making sure we're hitting what we're looking at and we're throwing it in the right area. So Brad, let's get started. When you target on the lanes, what are you looking at?
So me personally, I look at the arrows. You know how long the arrows are down the lane? 15 feet roughly? That's a Daniel question. So I look at...
Yeah, it depends which arrow. First arrow is a little closer than the fourth arrow. The panels, I think, are 12 feet. So yeah, 13, 14 feet down the lane.
About a quarter of the way down the lane. And we've seen pretty much all across the board. Guys look down the lane. Guys look at their feet. Wes Malott, one of the greatest bowlers of all time, looks at his feet. When he throws the ball, he's like this. So the point there is it's really unique to you on how you kind of like to look at the lane. Me personally, and I think you as well, we've found comfort in having that target point a little closer to us. That's why we look at the arrows. That's a little bit comfortable to us, but I mean, I'm sure you've been the same way. It's like bowling since we were so young, we've heard it all. Well, you need your ball to go a little bit farther down, look farther down the lane. If you need your ball to hook a little closer, look closer to the lane. And we've actually found that to be a little difficult because when I change where my eyes are looking, particularly down lane or even closer, man, it really...
Yeah, it's an adjustment that I've never been able to put into my game. I can look a touch closer, and when I say a touch, like 6 inches closer than the arrows. But if I look really close or I look really far, I'm not able to use that adjustment. I got to keep my focal point pretty similar. But that focal point is what I would say the customizable part of targeting.
Yes.
You can look closer, you can look further down the lane. If you're good enough to be able to look at different parts, different lengths, great. Great for you, but most people I would say keep it the same.
Yeah, and you know, through your practice, try them. You know, we're always in favor of trial and error. If it doesn't work for you, great. If you like it and you're looking down lane, then you're bowling better, sure, why not? But maybe even a little more important than like where we look, we need to make sure that where we are looking is consistent with where our body is kind of pointed. So it's totally possible, and we've worked with people where they're looking at second arrow and they throw the ball and it hits the third arrow.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now if you could consistently do that and just line up off of it, sure, but there's probably an issue in there to where our eyes are looking one thing, but our body isn't allowing us to get the ball to go where we're looking. So we want to go through a couple of scenarios.
Yeah, so Brad, let's throw a shot here, and Brad's going to play a little straighter on the lane. Now, he's going to tell us where he's targeting, but then he's also going to tell us not only where he's targeting, but what he's doing in his approach to allow him to hit his target and throw the shot he wants. We, as bowlers, don't necessarily really focus on hitting our target. We need to hit our target, but it's important to draw a line on the path of where do we want our ball to go, and then we match our target and how we're standing to, you know, execute that line. So Brad, if you're going to go a little straighter on this shot that we have out here, where are you going to be standing, where are you going to be targeting, and then what kind of physical cues are going to be?
Yeah, so obviously a little straighter. We're going to be playing as a righty, a little farther right on the lane. Visually, our ball path is going to go in direction with the board, so it's very forward. And if you're a straight guy out there, if you're a lower rev rate guy out there, you're good at this, right? So when we want to see the lane more front to back in the direction of the boards, we have to make sure our hips are in that direction as well. So a lot of the guys that hook the ball a lot, they're really comfortable with playing inside, have some open angles. Their hips are also open and allowing them to point it in that direction. If you try and play straight, and then you can look this way and look straight, but the second you get into your approach, if your hips really open up, or if you start open, well, how are you gonna get them back closed in time, and how are you gonna do that consistently? So I like to start out closed, hips and shoulders, you know, maybe a little more exaggerated, kind of point it this way, just to kind of help me not just have open angles and throw it out to the right. Whether I play straight or hooking it, I look in the same area. I don't go down or closer to me. So closed shoulders, closed hips, and then I'm looking right at board 8, and we're gonna see if I can even get there.
Yeah, so that rolled over pretty much 8, 9 at the arrows.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do on this next one too, and I think this is an important part of targeting, is we're talking about repeating shots. Why do you look at a target? Because you want to hit that same target. You want to repeat it. Well, not only do we need to hit our target, but our approach and our delivery needs to be consistent as well. One thing that we see some people struggle with is that maybe they're hitting close to their target, but the ball is going all over the place. Well, this can be an issue if you're sliding in a different spot every time, if you're drifting. Say one time you drift and you hit 20 at the arrows with your left foot or your slide foot, and the next time you hit 18, well, you're changing your launch angle. So that is gonna throw, even though you may hit your target the same, you're attacking your target from a different area.
That's a great point, because if you are someone out there that drifts, we're not saying it's like the end of the world. We've seen some great bowlers have some drifts. Those people have a hard time playing straight.
Oh yeah, if you have too much lateral movement in your approach, yeah, they're not the greatest straight players at all.
Yeah, it's hard to, I mean, you could set up straight, closed, everything, have your target, but the second you start walking, if you go to the left, I mean, how are you going to have that same
you're already
line? You've already changed what, basically, how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw one more.
And Brad, on this one, I want you to, and this is what I would tell bowlers at home, when you're working on your targeting and working on your consistency, let's make sure we're sliding in the same spot. So I want you to just, when you're done, look down at your slide foot and just tell me what board you're sliding on.
Okay.
And this is what you can do after your shot. Look down, see what board you're sliding on. All right, did I hit 20? Okay, and then you throw another shot. Do the exact same thing and see if you're finishing on the same board every time.
All right, so I'm going to set up to the right,
Then
close the hips, close the shoulders.
And see where we're sliding.
Okay, so I slid on exactly board 15.
Okay, 15.
Third dot.
Now let's throw another one. So this is just what you would do at home, and you would just say, okay, I slid on 15, let me throw another one, do the exact same thing, and see if we're being consistent. Because if we're not consistent on where we're sliding, then that's an issue in itself. And you may be thinking, I can't hit my target. Well, if we just fix our footwork and slide in the same spot, our consistency issues are gonna go away.
I really hope I do slide.
Yeah, I
in the same
do.
spot.
We'll see. Maybe we need to work on the footwork.
But this does tell me I have a little bit of a drift, because I'm not standing on 15. So I'm actually standing on 12. So it actually tells me I have a 3-board drift, but let's see if it's even consistent.
That was exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Okay, that makes me happy.
So you're set there.
Yes.
So you're good there. So that's one thing we can work on, is making sure we're finishing in the same spot. Now, well, the point we're kind of trying to get across here is that we're not, and Brad, correct me if I'm wrong here, but we want to hit our target, but we got to make sure, for one, our body alignment is set to whatever type of shape we're trying to make, but we're not dead set on like hitting the exact point. Yes, we want to be accurate. Yes, we want to be hit as close as we can to that target. But in today's day and age, it's so important to create proper ball shape and proper trajectory, and making sure you're throwing it great, that you can maybe not be as accurate if you're doing all the other things
absolutely.
right.
And we'll look at a specific point at the arrows wherever we want our ball to roll over. But the second we actually throw it, it's not like we're watching the ball roll over that very specific spot.
Right.
Because there's a lot of feel going on. We're throwing the ball too. We're just making sure our eyes are in that direction, and then let kind of everything else follow through.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, my eyes kind of glare over once I release the ball, and I know I'm going close to my target, but I probably couldn't tell you if I missed 2, if I hit it, whatever. Another thing to point out here is that people tend to, we had a clinic recently. I was working with someone who felt like they kept missing their target. And it was really interesting. I can't hit my target, I can't hit my target. Okay, well, let's see. I want you to hit 10 at the arrows. Well, I told him to hit 10 at the arrows, and he hit 8. Okay, let's move a little bit. I want you to hit 12 at the arrows, and he hit 10. Okay, well, now let's hit 14 at the arrows. And if you can guess it, the next shot, he hit 12. So he was actually being consistent, but he was thinking he was missing his target, but he was missing his target the exact same
way.
And that's very common. So I want to throw a shot over here, because I want to say I miss a little left of target, and we'll see what happens. But I'm going to play left. I'm going to change it up a little bit from Brad, and I'm going to be looking at 21 at the arrows. And typically when I'm looking at like 21 or looking at my target, I hit a couple left. So let's see if that happens.
21.
Yeah, that looked like 22, 21 at the arrows. So it was a little left. And I was kind of, I'm not gonna lie, my eyes like dialed back into like 21 to try to hit it. But I never actually look at my target that exact. But the point is, you might be feeling like you're missing your target out there, or you need to know your focal point. Hey, if I need to hit 15 at the arrows, I actually need to look at 13, or I actually need to look at 17. Knowing where you miss, as long as it's consistent, is important to know.
Our targeting doesn't change when we play straight versus hooking it. The thing that actually changes is, are we shifting our body to allow the ball to get to where our eyes are? Because you could stare at 20 all day long. If you're going up there and hitting 25, well then, yeah, maybe staring at 20 is the right play, but your body's not even allowing you to hit there. So you're never even gonna really be able to bowl good. So when I'm playing straight or when Kyle's playing straight, the targeting doesn't really change. It's more so just the angle at which we want everything to go. The eyes, the body and feet move left. We need to open up our angles. Eyes move right, but our body has to kind of shift with that and our hips.
We're aligning our body to where we want to get it down lane. We don't want to, if we're not trying to swing the ball a whole lot, we're going to stay closed. If we're going to try to swing the ball more, we may open up more. And in reality, when I'm going to target, and just to give you an exact idea of what's going through my mind, I go, okay, I need to, if I'm playing left here, I want to go around 22, 23, out to maybe around 7, 8 down lane. I'm just wanting to go in that direction. So, okay, that's what I want to achieve. What do I need to do? All right, well, I need to stand wherever your focal point is, or wherever you feel like you need to stand to create that angle. So for me, my left foot's gonna be on, what is that, 20, 25, 30, 35, like 37 is where my left foot is. If I draw a line through 22, 23 at the arrows, it should go out to about 7 or 8 down lane. Okay, that's my target line. Now, from here, I'm gonna angle my body a little bit, so I'm gonna open up my shoulders just a touch, not a ton, but just a smidge. And then I'm just focusing on how I need to throw the ball, because now, I'm set. My approach should be consistent because I've worked on it. My body is angled, my feet are in the right place. I'm looking here, my body is angled through my target out to where I need to get it. Now I just need to execute the shot. And that's pretty much what's going through my mind every time. So I'm set, I'm basically just setting everything up. Now I'm just trying to throw it the correct way. And I'm looking at my target as a focal point to look at, but I'm really concerned on making sure that I execute this shot the right way. And that's what we're gonna do. I'm also gonna add a touch of loft.
Loft it.
That was so close.
Big hook guy.
Big hook guy. But yeah, that's pretty much the idea that's going through my head. Figure out where I need to throw it, angle my body the right way, and then I'm definitely more concerned on making sure I execute however I need to execute than did I hit my target or not, if that makes sense. All right, guys, there you have it. A video on targeting, some do's, some don'ts, and pretty much how we target and attack the lanes.
Yes, and if you guys like that video, we have a Brad and Kyle membership available for you. If you are looking for coaching, it's a great platform. It's a private Facebook group with a big community. And Kyle, myself, and our favorite coach, Coach Daniel. So if you're looking for some more coaching, click that link in the description or send us a DM on social media platforms. We will get you more information. We appreciate you guys. Hit that link, that like, and subscribe, and we'll see you later.